there's beat up, bruises and scrapes, and it's hard, but I love being physical with a character, because it's sort of like you get to really know the character even more because you're so fluid with their movements, and that's what I loved about that opportunity to play when I was like in the market scene, and I played this like thing where I was in control by Mary was in control of me, and I was standing up, and there was that really weird movement, and it's sort of like dance in a way. So, and I have a dance background, so I sort of use that, but I love it. I love like really just pushing it, and they give me these opportunities that are so like bizarre and amazing, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I love taking risks.
So. Sorry about burning you. That was hard. Took a long recovery, but she did great. Yeah. I gotta say, I'll never forget Elise's audition for that part. We had just seen a professional contortionist kind of get on the ground and do this stuff. And we were like, well, that's interesting. And it was a smaller part at the time. We thought maybe we should just have a contortionist do it. And then the scroll on song. And she did more than the contortionist did, but also with all this soul, and all this emotion coming out. We're like, that's it. And then, as we've been saying before, which is equally true actually with Iddo's incredible performance as Isaac, these were both characters that we didn't know at the time, and I wrote the pilot, absolutely did not know or have any intention that these characters would still be around 3 years later. He died at the end of the pilot, but we all were like, he can't die. We love this guy. We love this character now because of what we brought to it. And equally, Mercy suddenly became the most interesting character in so many ways. I mean, they're all interesting.
Yeah,
and suddenly it was like, what?
When we filmed the pilot, Elise came in with a huge hair.
Yeah.
Like
huge,
red,
long, red. And then she came back one day and just the head.
Yeah, she let her shave her head.
She had, her nails were just filled with filth. She had bruises everywhere.
And I'm like, hi guys!
and I was sat there thinking, wow, I need to bring it.
It's a challenge. So by the time you come 3 years later into season 3, to see that girl who was snarling around the village in a dog mask now has become really a woman of her own power. If she started the show possessed, in season 3 she is self-possessed for the first time.
Okay.
And that brings a lot of consequences for good and for bad. It's really interesting. And similarly, the guy who starts the season, the original show, getting branded, and suffering the consequences, this outcast, this village idiot, Isaac the fornicator, has become the conscience of Salem.
And all the people that were there, kind of during and shouting and mocking him while he was being branded, are the people that he has their ears in this season.
It was amazing to see that, to see them come to him, and then to see the choices he has to make.
Dealing with the power and having that power for the first time is something just so wild for him. And I was saying before, just the fact that Isaac has never been able to answer back to people and never been able to really express how he feels. He's always swallowing his emotions and holding back. So this season,
looked anybody in the eye for 2 years. Yeah. It was always like this, right?
Yeah.
And covered your skull.
It's been. I'm really. I'm scared and looking forward to seeing it because it's a very different side of it.
It's great. It's actually, it's a strange concept to say it. It's truly Capra-esque. If we're not too far removed from Frank Capra, to still remember what that means, to see him become, and in fact we talked a lot about movies like Meet John Doe and some of the great Frank Capra movies that dealt with the shadow and the light of populism, as somebody who comes up and starts to become a symbol for people. It was weird this season, but one thing that was weirdest to me, it was all these things that we wrote more than a year ago. Literally the season begins with a very strange and rather desperate refugee crisis when there was no refugee crisis. We didn't go read the papers, hey, let's do a refugee crisis. There was no refugee crisis. That was the thing that started the story. And then not to say we caused it. Just a little black magic there, but and then to start to look at again the light and dark sides of populism and all the things, and it really went back to this idea we'd always had, though, and then Brandon and I really shared that this was a show about the birth of the American devil, meaning that Salem has always stood for the dark side of America. America is a place of great hope and great danger, with great ideals that often turn into their opposite. A country dedicated to freedom and founded on slavery. All this self-contradiction. The show has always been a fantasy about that, and I think this season more than ever.
Yeah, and we're really the first thing you hear this season.
That's right. First thing you hear is history will say the devil was born in Salem. In some ways, it's been true for all of us in America, though. The devil was born in Salem, right?
Oh no, exactly, and I think that's so true. Sort of seems like she cannot die. I mean, she is burned to almost. You would think that she would die at that time when she gets burned alive, and then she somehow survives. She is so persistent and she is so strong-willed that she. It's such an inspiration to play something like this. It's very admirable because she is so perseverant. She is so strong, and it's really, really fun to play something like that.
I love that. Yeah, I have to just add on that probably my favorite moments in many ways this season, and I don't want to give too much away about it.
Because I haven't seen it either, so I don't
When
know.
she has come through so much, and then it looks like maybe she's been crushed again. And, and it's like, and I remember writing a thing going, and she feels like maybe I don't have it, maybe I can't do it one more time.
I don't know if I can do it one more time.
And it's really
keep
unexpected.
On. Yeah.
Because the last thing I think anybody would expect in relation to this character is
Giving up.
lift her back up.
Yeah, she never gives up.
And something she would never expect, which is love.
Yeah,
Comes
so
out of
this
that
is the
moment
first,
in
and
a
it's
really
the
interesting way.
most bizarre, strange. It's the strangest love story I've ever heard.
I think so.
Definitely
Way up there, yeah.
Way up there. Only Salem would make a relationship, create a relationship like that. Are you ready? Oh yeah. No, I mean, I was. It's so funny because when I think it was 2 months prior. No, it was 2 months before. Auditioning for this role, I told my managers, I was like, I want to shave my hair and all Sinead O'Connor, and I want to be in a period piece.
Hey,
and
careful what you wish for.
Well, no, it's crazy because I had these long locks
What
and
are
I
the
was
odds of
ready.
that?
It's bizarre. I wanted to do those too, but it wasn't like they weren't. I was not dreaming of them being in the same situation, and they were. And then I got to have a shaved head, and it was awesome. It was amazing.